Okay, so today I'm working on a 2016 Dodge Grand Caravan, and the issue I had was it seemed like the starter wasn't working. So it would click, but it wouldn't do anything besides clicking. So replaced the battery at first, thinking maybe it was a battery, wasn't that. So figured maybe it was starter. So start removing, getting ready to remove the starter, and I noticed that the wire, the big power wire going from the battery to the starter was broken off. The terminal broke off and it was just dangling there. So um, the solenoid was engaging, but there was no power to turn the starter over. So that was what I found. And this is the terminal. It was hooked to the starter right here, and then this was hooked to the wire. So and it kind of went together like this, and I guess from vibration or whatever, it just snapped off, and it was just hanging. So, and there was two wires connected in here. There was a 8-gauge wire and a 4-gauge wire. So anyway, I ended up cutting it off. But you cannot get this piece here. You can't get this piece here separately. And the only way to get it from like a dealer or something is you have to purchase a complete wiring harness, because it doesn't come separately as an assembly. It's all tied into the harness. So it's like a $1,200 item, and it's on back order. So there's really no way to get it, even if you wanted to spend the $1,200, which I don't. But anyway, I'll show you the fix that I used. I ended up cutting it off, like I say, and I stripped it back. And I bought this this assembly here, which is a 1-gauge wire that has a terminal already crimped on both ends. I cut this in off, but it was the same on both sides, and it was about a foot long or whatever. And so anyway, this is the part number. It's a Napa item 711291. And I also bought a splice, because what happens is the wire is too short. Without this terminal on there, it's too short to actually reach the back of the starter with just a regular I terminal. So you have to add on to the wire. And so I added about probably 4 inches to the wire with this. And then I used a splice, a 1-inch, not a 1-inch, a 1-gauge splice. And this was the butt connector right here, they call it, but it's a splice, and you got to crimp it onto the wire. It's the part number 728000. So anyway, that's from Napa, and I used a hydraulic crimper. This is what I got. It's a hydraulic crimper, and I used a 35mm crimp die on it. And so anyway, I'll show you how it looks after it's crimped on there. This is what it looks like. So it's got 2 wires going into the crimp. It's a black wire and a red wire. So I'll put them both together, put it in the butt splice, and then I crimped it down. Then I put the other piece that I cut off, and then I did this on like a 45-degree angle. Just put it in a vise and bend it over, and that way it'll kind of match the factory angle. How it was on the factory angle. So you can see it fits nicely on the back of the starter now, and it's actually got a little lift to it where I could, before it was very tight, and now I got a little lift where I could move it and actually remove the starter probably without taking it off. Well, before you had to take it off before you remove the starter. So now it's a lot better. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna insulate this real good, tape it up, and then I'm gonna put wire loom over it. And that's pretty much it. That's my fix for it. And I hope this can help somebody, because $1,200 is a lot of money, and you know, when it's a simple fix like this, it probably cost me 20 bucks altogether, not counting the tools, but just materials. So anyway, it'll probably work for any Dodge product, you know. So anyway, that's all.